Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Kim Soo. I run a company called Compassionate Learning, where I help students in their academic development, as well as their mental, emotional, and spiritual development when asked. So I was thinking about the toxic parents. This is the live post, the reel, whatever, that I just put up last night. I was thinking about the toxic parent, in particular the mother who interrupted the session and said in a very angry, very hostile tone about the Dostoevsky I had her daughter read. What does this have to do with anything? If you don't know the context, go back and watch that video. It's extra. By the way, this video is only for people who are 18 years and older. So, you know, there are a lot of ways to handle someone who's being aggressive. And you can push back. You can fall back on your professionalism and just keep it dry and simple. You might even just like demur or freeze and wait it out. But I think the best possible response that I could have given was to use NVC, nonviolent communication. This is a 4-part process, mainly where you say what it is you feel and you make a request. You can begin with an observation, such as, you sound hostile, you sound angry, or I think you are angry. And then your feelings. I feel pretty shook up by that right now, or I feel uncomfortable with that, or I'm starting to feel uneasy, or even you sound hostile and I'm starting to feel afraid. And I would like you to speak to me in a way that is not hostile, or speak to me without anger. I think that could have been the best possible response at the time, because really, to help this student, to help this child, I think the best thing for her would have been to see someone model emotional regulation, managing a difficult conversation, while managing a difficult conversation. So that's all I have to say for this one. And I'll make other videos about nonviolent communication. I do teach it to my students. It's not difficult to learn if you break it down into a couple steps, between 2 and 4 steps. And it is incredibly useful to begin to have a conversation when people are emotionally reactive like that. I also want to say that oftentimes, to avoid working with people who I don't want to work with, people who are, angry, or want to structure the session so much so that I won't be able to do what I think is right for the student, or, people who want to, whatever, push boundaries with policies. Oftentimes I think, gee, what do I need to put out there? What do I need to start saying? What kind of language do I need to start using to make it clear, to put like a boundary, not just a boundary, but to put like a barrier, so those people won't make those decisions, and they'll start to operate inside the boundaries that I feel are acceptable, or the ones that allow me the environment to work in the way that I want to work. That's like a strong no, putting up a barrier, warding off. And what I am finding is that that doesn't work. That people who want to push boundaries, or who want to be rude, or who want to treat me in ways that I don't want to be treated, or treat their children in ways that I don't want to be a party of, they find ways to get around and circumvent. And they don't really do it consciously. They just do it quickly and quietly. And, for example, coming in as a customer on the varsity system, for example, that's an easy way to circumvent all of my boundaries. I have to figure out like what the person's like once I start working with them. But people do it in private practice as well. So that kind of like putting up a barrier doesn't seem to be working. And I'm going to try instead, envisioning, feeling, and languaging the kinds of people that I do want. And this kind of harkens back to the old Abraham Hicks um, um, law of attraction, where you don't focus on what you don't want, you focus on what you do want. And that is certainly true. But to put it differently, I'm finding that my perspective of joy, of invitation, of wanting to create a work experience for myself and for my students, I'm finding that that is more powerful. You know, it feels more powerful to me. I think it has a more immediate effect on people, and it also consumes a lot less energy than this. One of my teachers, Erin Telford, she says, instead of trying to, strongly barrier or boundary your energy against someone else's energy, you can think of expanding, like, this is my space, I am grounded in this energy, in this space, this is what I want, I'm expanding and sending this further out, growing the area around me, rather than, and that comes through in our wording, right? It comes through in our copy, it comes through in our speech, it comes through uh, in our emotions and our facial expressions, everything. So I'm going to make that shift as well. Yeah, so stay tuned for the nonviolent communication videos. If you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all are well. And if you need coaching for academic, emotional, mental, or spiritual development, you know where to find me. Take care.